Good evening, Zimbabwe. This is Change Radio News. Today is Tuesday, 27 May 2025. The news read by Divine Nambira. Here are the news headlines. President Chamisa slams the new radio license. Fire guts Churchill Boys High dormitories. Nembudzia villagers up in arms with the Gokwe Rural District Council. And now for the news in detail. President Nelson Chamisa has condemned the newly enacted Broadcasting Services Amendment Act, which requires motorists to purchase a radio license before renewing their vehicle licenses. Commenting on his X account, formerly known as Twitter, President Chamisa described the law as draconian, anti-citizens, and heartless. He questioned the rationale behind the mandatory $92 annual radio license fee, citing the already heavy financial burden on motorists, including zinara, insurance, and toll gate fees. He expressed outrage, asking why citizens should be subjected to what he termed cruel taxation and partisan propaganda. He questioned the legitimacy of forcing citizens to pay for a service they may not use and criticized the regime in Harare for being uncaring and heartless. Meanwhile, former Mount Pleasant MP Advocate Fadzai Mahere has also spoken out against the radio license fee, stating, "We won't pay this tax. I won't subsidize propaganda for a corrupt regime. Why should we pay for reporters to spew lies about us? It's unacceptable." Fire broke out at Churchill Boys High School yesterday, destroying junior hostels. Reports suggest the blaze may have been caused by a gas leak and an electrical fault. The fire caused a significant loss for the students, with many of their personal belongings consumed by the flames. More than 54 boarding students were affected by this event. This tragedy follows the recent loss of 2 teachers, adding to the emotional burden on the community. Headmaster Mr. Aquanos Majunga confirmed that the affected students have been temporarily relocated. The School Development Association chairperson, Ms. Chipo Mahamba, expressed the trauma and significant loss experienced by the students. Residents, business owners, and church organizations in Nembudzia are protesting the Gokwe Rural District Council's proposed 2025 service rates, which some exceed 300%. They argue the fees are unaffordable and detrimental to local businesses, especially targeting non-profit institutions like churches. The community criticized the council for lacking justification for the increases amid poor service delivery, such as bad roads and unreliable utilities. Stakeholders demand a suspension of the proposed rates and a more inclusive consultation process. The council's chief executive was unreachable for comment. In economic news, creditors of Kaya Cement have approved a plan to delist from the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange ZSE, setting the stage for the exit of majority shareholder Fossil Mining just 3 years after its takeover of the country's second-largest cement producer. Bulisa Mbano of Great Thornton, who was appointed corporate rescue practitioner after Kaya entered into business rescue period last year, has now issued a call for new investors into the company. Mbano proposed taking the company off the ZSE, arguing that delisting is critical to the turnaround strategy as it allows the company to restructure away from the scrutiny of the public market. At a meeting on Monday, the creditors approved the plan. New investors are now being sought, and Bano has published a notice giving prospective investors up to 13 June to place their bids. A 70-year-old man from Masvingo, Peter Carl Frederick Ferreira, is appearing in the local magistrate's court on theft charges. He is accused of stealing mine documents from Charara C and Mugaza mines in Bondolfi, where he worked as a contractor. The alleged theft occurred on September 15, 2024. Ferreira had been overseeing the daily operations of the mine since October 2021. The case is currently before Magistrate Arafat Kozonai. And in news from local communities, relations have soured between locals and Chinese nationals in Dolo and Filabusi due to allegations of abuse and human rights violations by Chinese workers involved in chrome mining. Villagers report assaults, environmental damage, and inadequate compensation for labor, with many earning as little as $80 a month. Concerns were raised at a recent town hall meeting about the lack of basic services and infrastructure in the community. Traditional healers urged the miners to rehabilitate land and respect local agreements. Locals demand meaningful development instead of ongoing exploitation and degradation. As if the presidential schemes are not enough to feed his cronies in ZANU-PF, Mr. Mnangagwa has given a directive to allocate residential stands to ZANU-PF Central Committee members. This is a blatant show of deliberate blurring of lines between the party and government. Just a week after relocating to the United Arab Emirates UAE, 25-year-old Shepherd Mudoweri tragically lost his life while attempting to escape a fire that engulfed a residential tower in Al Nahda, Sharjah. His remains were repatriated and laid to rest in Chivu this last Sunday amid an outpouring of empathy from family and friends. A helpless parent, Mr. James Baloyi, from Chingele area in Chiredzi South, is appealing for help for his ailing daughter. His message reads, "My daughter is Happiness Baloyi, age 29. She is suffering from a constriction vein on her neck side. Doctors have told her that the cost of operating the type of condition she has is 8,000 Rand, with an initial deposit of 5,000 Rand, which we have failed to raise so that she can get operated on. I am kindly asking for assistance in cash from well-wishers and those that would feel sympathy to assist us raise the required amount to avert a possible disaster. The constriction's rate of growth is just unprecedented. Those who would like to assist us may consult us for more information about the history of the constriction and details about the doctor and the place where the operation should be carried out. The message is signed James Baloyi, Father. Cell number +263 77 559 5992, and I repeat the phone number +263 77 559 5992. Email jamesbaloyi600@gmail.com. In entertainment news, Tutsi actor Presley Shweneyage has died at age 40 His manager Nina Morris Lee confirmed in a statement on Tuesday. Chweneyagae played the titular role in the Oscar-winning local film in 2005. He was also known for his award-winning performance as Tuso Cobra Mokoena in daily drama The River. It is with profound sadness that we confirm the untimely passing of one of South Africa's most gifted and beloved actors, Presley Chweneyagae, at the age of 40, the statement read. In international news, a suicide car bomber has struck a school bus in southwestern Pakistan, killing at least 4 children and injuring dozens more people. The attack took place in the Balochistan province. While no group immediately claimed responsibility, Balochistan has been the scene of a long-running insurgency with an array of separatist groups staging attacks. The Pakistani government accused India of involvement in the attack. It comes amid a fragile ceasefire between the two countries after a conflict erupted in the aftermath of the Pahalgam massacre in Indian-controlled Kashmir. Violence has erupted between Zimbabweans and South Africans in Ado, Cape Town. Following a crackdown by colored males, many Zimbabweans have fled to the mountains in search of safety. This occurred after 2 Zimbabweans got into a confrontation with a colored man who threatened them with a pistol in a bar, resulting in the death of the colored man. This ignited violence in which the colored community declared war on all Zimbabweans. Many Zimbabweans got injured and 7 were reportedly murdered by aggressive South Africans. And finally, in sports news, Warriors coach Michael Nees has announced his squad for the international friendlies against Burkina Faso and Niger on June 6 and 10, respectively. The team is as follows. Goalkeepers: Washington Arubi, who plays for Marumo Gallants; Elvis Chipezeze plays for Magesi; Morley Tawaziwa, who plays for Brentford. Defenders: Teenage Hadebi, who plays for Cincinnati; Gerald Takwara, who plays for Alminar SC; Munashe Garanganga, who plays for FC Copenhagen; Isheane Sumauchio, who plays for Simba Bora; Peter Muduwa, who plays for Scotland; God knows Murwera, who also plays for Scotland; and Emmanuel Jalai, who plays for Dynamos. Midfielders: Mutokozisi Musebe, who plays for Scotland; Kama Billiard, who also plays for Scotland; Richard Hachiro, who plays for Ngezi Platinum; Jonah Fabish, who plays for FC AUE; Donald Mudadi, who plays for Simba Bora; Sean Fusire, who plays for Sheffield Wednesday; Daniel Simdami, who plays for Marumo Gallants; and Bill Antonio, who plays for KV Mechelen. And in the forwards, there are Prince Dube, who plays for Young Africans; Tawanda Maswanise, who played for Motherwell; Walter Musona, who plays for Scotland; Tawanda Macheke, who plays for Tel One FC; and Tino Kadewere, who plays for Nantes. To end the news bulletin, here are the headlines once again. President Chamisa slams the new radio license. Fire guts Churchill Boys High dormitories. And villagers up in arms with the Gokwe District Council. And that concludes our bulletin for today. We thank you for listening. From myself, Divine Nambira, and the entire team at Change Radio, we wish you a pleasant night.